Finally, my prediction was right. NCBA shares hit 100. Guess what? For those who do watch me, go watch my previous video. This is what I said. I predict that the NCBA shares will hit their 100 shilling mark by the end of next week, which is now this week of 23rd of October 2025. Guess what? The week is not even yet done. I'm going to make this video right now. This was on Thursday, and I'm going to upload it right now. Guess what? Yesterday, that is on Wednesday, the NCBA shares hit 100. I'm going to show you. All right? Guess what? The week has not even ended, and they have actually hit. If you can check there on the Financial Times website, you can go check there. Let me show you. The high, you can post the video and check it out at your own time. And you can also verify that from the Nairobi Securities Exchange website. Just go search Nairobi Securities Exchange, then go to their website. You'll see those numbers, running from the, from the right to the left, and you'll actually see the NCBA hit their 100. Guess what? When I was making this video last week, literally like 3-ish or 4-ish days ago, the stocks were at 75 shillings. Can you imagine this? In 4 days, they have increased by 25. And then immediately, I made a video and I said, buy NCBA shares now. Then, that is my last video. Those shares were at 88 shillings. Right now, we are at 100. The market yet to open. Actually, the market has actually opened when I'm actually live. Yes, I'm projecting probably these shares will actually go up and up. But I'm going to tell you what I think about the future of the NCBA at the end of this video. Let me explain. What is going on here? What's happening is that the NCBA bank, there is a bailout, or in other words, or in a layman's language, it's going to merge with the Stanbic Bank. And once they merge, they're going to turn out to be the biggest or one of the biggest bank. Why? They're going to have a total asset value of around 1.1 trillion. I told you that last time. And by the way, here to make a correction of a mistake I made, I meant the Stanbic Bank is owned or is largely owned by a South African bank called the Standard Bank. Not the other one that I had mentioned, the Standard Chartered. No, Standard Bank. And Standard Bank is the biggest lender, or is the biggest bank in terms of the asset value in the African continent. Therefore, the NCBA, or the merger between the NCBA and the Stanbic Bank, I'm seeing it becoming a big thing. People asking me, hey Joseph, what is your prediction? Once they merge, does it mean it's good for the stocks, or does it mean... Obviously, you can see just a small sneak or a small information leaking was enough for the investors to jump their money into that particular company. This information was actually quote-unquote leaked by the Bloomberg, where there was some information that the Stanbic Bank are gonna merge with the NCBA Bank. And in that matter has actually led to that NCBA shares. Can you imagine this? Let me put something on the board. At the beginning of this year, the NCBA shares or stocks were at 45, 46, around there. Right now, we are talking of 100. Sometimes I tell people, do you know you can make crazy money in the stock market? People think like I joke. Some people think like, okay, this is just a guy who is a content creator. Indeed, true, I am a content creator. But for me, it's to inform you. I always say this is not a financial advice. It is me informing you what is happening on the other part of the world that you do not know. Are we together? Moving all the way from 46 to 100. That is a margin difference of what? 54. Literally, if you had invested 100K, that is more than double. It is more than, probably we are talking about 230K within not even a year, within some few months. Who knows? This NCBA could be the next KPLC. You see what the KPLC did, appreciated in a very crazy way, even more than 10x. It can happen. I'm not saying it will happen. I'm saying it can happen. Again, at the end of this video, I'm going to share with you what I think about this merger. Now, if you guys can actually check out on what I've been talking about the stock market in Kenya. And I think the stock market in Kenya is being revamped in such a way that there was the Nairobi Securities Exchange was voted as the worst performing stock exchange. But now things have actually become something else. Now, Joseph, what do you think, that is you asking me now, what do you think would happen once the NCBA merges with the Stanbic Bank? Obviously, it will establish more confidence in the financial market. Number two, their merger will actually position that, I do not know what they will call it. I don't know when the NCBA, by the way, if you didn't know, the NCBA was actually a merger between two banks. That was the NIC and the CBA. That's why sometimes if you use the NCBA as your stockbroker when you're sending money here, the NIC word usually comes out to be like, oh, why NIC? It's a merger between the two. That's why they came up with the word NCBA. I do not know when the NCBA now, the NCBA plus the Stanbic, once they merge, I don't know what they're going to call it. I don't know, okay? That one is it's not a big issue. But now the question people have been asking me, hey, is there any problem once they merge? I'm a customer there. You can't even realize. The process is usually so seamless. You can't even realize. They transfer everything, they merge everything. Like, it is so seamless that even the customers would just be, you would be notified. I mean, you wouldn't even notice unless you be notified. Everything will be okay. It will be good. It's even better when these companies or these banks join together. There's one thing I'll tell you guys that you bury in your head under the sand and you don't want to hear this. The fact remains, Kenya, we have like 40 banks. 40 banks. That's what we have in Kenya. 40 banks. And if you have 40 banks, there are likeliness or there are chances of these banks merging and end up maybe probably with 20 banks or even less than that. Because Kenya has actually, or CBK has said that all the banks should have a core capital of 10 billion. Tell me, how many banks has the capacity to just take 10 billion and put it aside just lying idle? Most of the banks do not have that capacity. That's why I'm seeing there is a lot of mergers will actually show up in future. Therefore, the merging and the merging and acquisitions are it is the future thing. So those who are saying, oh, it's a merger, you should get... some people don't understand what happens in the market when companies merge. It becomes bigger. The fact remains, the NCBA shares are appreciating at a very high rate. And that has actually led to people being skeptical and asking, hey, what will happen? This is what will happen. And this happens all the time. Okay, it is good I mention here now. I'm answering the question. So what happens? We are now on the bull. Okay, we are now on the bull as far as the NCBA are concerned. Okay, so the NCBA is actually appreciating at a very high rate. Right now, we are at 100. Probably this figure will actually go all the way. By the way, don't be shocked. By next week again, we might actually be at 120. By the next week, hey, see, the merger between the NCBA and the Stanbic, one share of the Stanbic is 198 shilling, one share of Stanbic Bank. The NCBA right now is 100. Don't be shocked if you find these shares coming like, what do I mean? Like 198 and these shares appreciating all the way from 100 to 198. It can happen. It can happen. I'm not saying it will happen, but I'm saying based on my own analysis, if the current trend continues, it will. By the way, if there's some companies I usually feel comfortable when I'm buying their stocks are banks. Because banks, they tend to perform better or very well here in Kenya because banks are minting billions of money when it comes to the investment, okay? That's why you find that credit is not that much available in Kenya or not that much, affordable in Kenya. Therefore, if you ask me, I can foretell or I can actually sort of like look at it, be like, these shares might actually go all the way to 198. But I didn't say it would go to 198 by next week. But if you ask me, based on my own analysis, I'm projecting these shares might actually come from 100 to 120. Even by next week, or even by next week but one, we might actually have those shares going all the way to that particular point. But don't come here and crucify me, tell me, hey, Joseph, you said it would go, it has not gone, has not going down. No, I said I'm not perfect. I'm also an investor. I do not have any inside information. I'm just based on me being into the stock market and analyzing one or two, three things here in the stock market, I can tell you, this can actually go like this. Am I telling you now go withdraw your money and invest there? No. Obviously, when you're investing, understand that the stock market or stock investing is a risky affair. Always make sure that you do the proper risk analysis. Contact your stock, or rather contact your financial advisor to guide you appropriately in the right way the thing should be done. That is what you're supposed to understand when it comes to the investments. But this is my projection. I was explaining something. This is usually normal. There is a bull market, they appreciate at one day. The fact remains it will never forever keep on going up. A time will come, then we will have a plateau. Meaning now the demand and the supply is kind of equal, so like nothing is happening. I do not know. I'm just throwing a random numbers here. Probably, maybe this would be at 200. Who knows? Or 150, or 170, or 180. But a time will come when now it will actually, the curve will actually flatten. And I think right now the NCBA bank is doing what you call the cross fingers. Oh, cross finger, let it continue because we are getting more money and more money. Can you imagine this? You know, NCBA is largely owned by two families. I'm not gonna mention them. You go research, find out who are these two families owns it, and one family actually gained over 12 billion within days. Can you imagine that? 12 billion within days. So anyway, that is what you call the paper appreciation or the capital gain. Okay, so the net worth of this company is actually appreciating at a very, very high rate. So a time will come now, this curve will actually flatten and actually, you know, reach to a certain point whereby it's neither going up nor going down. It is just you know, it's just somewhere, you know, relaxing. Probably might also experience it dropping. It will happen. Probably may not drop all the way to where it started, say at 46. Not really, but we're gonna have that. The fact remains, a time will come when these shares will actually now start dropping in some way or something like that. It will happen. That is normal. And now the funny thing is that when we reach here, or when we are here, everyone is very happy. When we reach here, people are like, oh, should I sell? Should I? Da, da, da. And the moment there's a small drop, everyone panics and all that. And because when one person panics, wow, everything goes down. So the fact remains is, why are you getting into the stock? Why are you buying these NCBA shares? You can buy either for the dividends or you can buy for the capital gain. If you're buying for the capital gain, you're good. You can even decide to sell your shares. But if you're buying for the dividends, even if they appreciate all the way to up there, you can actually retain them and be like, you know what? I'm there for the dividends, not necessarily for the capital gain. That's why I always tell people, please, whenever you're investing, ask yourself, are you buying it for the purposes of the capital gain or are you buying it for the purposes of dividends? So you have to understand all those nitty-gritties. Yet I'm still waiting for the listing of the KPC. We have not yet gotten the information on that. We're also waiting for the time when the family bank will actually be listed. That will be another gold mine. You guys hang around and you'll see how the family bank shares will actually be. Right now, the family bank is traded privately at 16 shillings per share. I'm telling you, hey, you just wait. You just wait. And probably, I may not say about that, but I'm seeing a lot of mergers. Don't be shocked. Don't be shocked. Another bank and another one actually merging. Don't be shocked. Did you see now the insurance of Jubilee and the Sanlam actually joining hands? Yeah, it's happening. It's happening. So we're going to have what we call the shake-ups. The mergers and acquisitions will actually show up very well. Anyway, that is good, Joseph. I usually try the best I can to make these videos so that you can get something out of it and be able to invest and move to the next level. In case you did buy services in one way or the other, that is my number. You can shoot me a text on my WhatsApp and we can talk business. Don't forget, leave a comment on the comment section. Tell me that question you would like me to answer in the form of a video, and I'll try the best I can to do exactly that. See you the next one.